Welcome, YouTube. This is the DFS Squared Circle, hosted by the most electrifying man in DFS today. That's right, WWFHASBROMAN here. So today we're going to go over 4 picks of mine for the upcoming Best Brake Pads 159 at Daytona. You're not going to want to miss this. So please hit that thumbs up button, give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly NASCAR DFS videos. So many of you may know me for focusing in on my vintage pro wrestling videos, but I want to start a weekly series here, kind of focusing in on one of my other passions, and that's DFS, and in particular NASCAR. I know there's a lot of videos out there, NBA, NFL, Major League. I'm looking for NASCAR. I want to do a NASCAR video. I feel like there's not a lot out there. So that's what I want to bring to you. Each week, I'm going to try to do every series, all 3 series. Just highlight 4 picks from each slate. Some might be cash dominators, cash value plays, maybe even GPP plays. So, that's what I want to do every week. So please, again, subscribe, like the video, and without further ado, let's get started. So this race is scheduled for Friday the 19th of February, 7:30. I have pulled up right here last year's race and race results, and really looking at very similar thing. It's going to be 44 laps again. It is stage break after 12, 25, and then 44. So it's 12, 13, and 19 are the 3 stages. Dominator points here really don't exist. With it being only 44 laps, it's only 19.8 bonus points for fast laps and only 11 Dominator points for lead laps. So not really something that you're going to want to look for, be targeting in a race like this. Really for this, it's going to be finishing position and place differential are going to be the 2 big ones. Finding those guys starting in the back that can definitely move up and get that place differential for you are going to be big. That's going to be on the top of my list. Some of the drivers starting up front that you may be confident in they're going to finish up front. It's still somewhat of a risk. Sometimes strategy plays a factor. Obviously, there's cautions and accidents. All that can play a factor. So, track like this, again, I'm going to be focusing in on those guys in the back, looking to move up for place differential, kind of safe floors. So let's get started in my picks. All right, so my first driver, we're actually going to go pretty far down this list right here, and we're going to stop at number 24 starting position with a Mr. Kaz Grala at $7,100. So I think this play doesn't exactly stand out to a lot of people, but when you really start digging into the statistics, he really seems like a great play. So last year in the Cup Series, if you'll remember, he filled in for Austin Dillon in the number 3 car in some good equipment. He finished 7th here at this track. And then in the Xfinity Series last year at Road America, he finished 4th in a Childress car. In 2019 at Road America, he finished 5th in a Childress car. And in 2018 at Road America, he finished 11th. Watkins Glen, he finished 15th that year. So, I mean, these are some great finishes for Kaz. And that's why I'm going to start with him as one of my top picks. Not as much experience racing the tracks in the trucks, but obviously, he's had success. He's raced this track before at the most elite level, and he had some success with a 7th place finish. This week he's in a little bit lesser equipment, but Still got to lock him in as my first play. Let's say Kaz finishes 10th. He's going to get 34 finishing points, and then he's going to get 14 place differential points, which would give him 48 points total. So 48 points, $7,100 salary, that's pretty good for me. So I'm going to lock him in, and Kaz Grala is going to be my first pick of the squared circle. All right, so my next pick is going to be a driver that had a great 2019 season and just couldn't follow it up in 2020. Had a lot of accidents, seemingly was getting in trouble every single week. And that's Stuart Friesen. And I believe he's going to bounce back here this year. He's a very talented driver. He's been racing many series, has a lot of experience. $9,400. He's starting 30th. And for me, this is a lot about place differential here. I don't think Friesen's going to win this race, but I do think he can maybe crack the top 10. Let's say Friesen finishes 9th place. That's going to get him 35 points. 21. That'll be a 21 point place differential. That's going to get him 56 points at $9,400. And he definitely has some good experience. Last year, he raced this exact same track, and he got a 10th place finish. So if he's finishing right around there, getting you mid 50s in points, I think that's a pretty good play right there. So Stuart Friesen is going to be my second pick for the squared circle. Moving on to our third pick, we're going to be scrolling down again to the lower mid-range here. Starting 33rd, we're going to be looking at Tanner Gray with our third pick. Now Tanner, he is the reigning Truck Series Rookie of the Year. Last year was the first time that he had raced at the Daytona Road Course for the Truck Series. 15th place finish, pretty good. Overall, Tanner seemed to be in that kind of mid-range 11 to 17 positions, at a lot of races last year. He did have 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s. For his rookie season, I think Tanner did really good. Obviously winning the Rookie of the Year award. Has a lot of racing experience. And I think he can definitely, finish in that 15th range again. Finishing 15th, that's going to net him about 28 points. And then the place differential, he's looking at probably about a solid 18 points just for that place differential. Takes him up to about 46 points at $7,200. I think that's a great return on that price. So I'm going to lock in Tanner Gray as my third driver. And for my fourth and final driver, paying up at the top for what is, one of the best drivers in the field is kind of an obvious one from time to time. But, I'm going to call this a GPP play. And I just don't see people really being on Austin Hill this week. But, if you have the salary, I think Austin Hill could be a great play. Last year, same track, 5th place finish at the Daytona Road Course. Very competitive truck, looked very good last year. Austin Hill, just to look at his results from last year in this 16 truck, he was top 5 every other week, top 5 winning races every other week. Very rarely did he finish outside the top 10. He's a very competitive truck. For Austin Hill, let's say he does get back to that 5th place finish. He's going to get about 39 points for that. 15 place differential points. That's going to get him about 54 points total. And just to kind of go through and look at some of the other drivers, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Todd Gilliland. I think they're going to be looking at Sam Meyer. Even Riley Herbst has been good on some road courses. He has some good history there. Johnny Sauter getting real cheap at $7,800. Some people might give a try to the newcomer Jet Noland. I just don't see the ownership really being on Austin Hill. So I'm going to call Austin Hill a pretty good GPP play. So I think for that reason, I'm going to lock him in as my fourth and final driver. I think he could be someone you can get leverage from, and I think he could even compete for a win. So he will be my fourth driver of the four corners. And that's it. That's going to be my picks for the DFS Squared Circle for the NASCAR truck race on February 19th. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more DFS content. If you smell what the Hasbro man is cooking.